Was that chocolate? I thought you were opening a car part or something important. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We are back at the unit with the 1 Series, which I have already sort of done stuff to. I bought it without an MOT, and it needed a few things. It needed a caliper, and then with further inspection it needed an engine mount and a battery. Battery we also knew about. So we've changed the battery, changed the caliper, got it MOT'd, and now I'm about to do the engine mount, because engine mounts aren't actually MOT failable. I think it's a great area. So anyway, before anything happens, I'm changing the engine mount because it's just not my kind of style half-arsing thing. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to change the engine mount. Let's go. I do apologise for the quality drop here. I am now on the GoPro because the main camera I forgot to charge. Do apologise.
You're funny.
So, we have the car lifted. We now need to remove the under tray, which is held on by quite a few bolts, so we can get access to the engine mount, which is damaged. We have a brand new one to fit. So break out your trusty small ratchet with a 10mm, which hasn't been lost. For me to find out it's probably an 8mm. But I haven't lost my 10mm, so I don't need the sneaky 10mm van to arrive on the scene to entice me for some 10mm sockets. Oh god, see that sizing. I didn't even check beforehand, just looked at it. So, we just now need to get these up. Trusty Mark 1 table. Now, let's see how many of these will snap. For a car of its age, I'm not gonna lie, it's actually not bad condition. I've seen a lot worse, put it that way. Like that. Well, there's one snapped. I did say I wonder how many is gonna snap. Yeah, I've seen worse, aka that Golf that I stripped, that Mark 5, that was pretty horrendous. So, yeah. Also, we're on the GoPro right now because the main camera's out of battery. I just had enough to do the intro because we forgot to charge it. This one's gonna snap. Or not even get a grip on it. Oh. Snap. What? This actually might just, this under tray I don't think is going to go back on. I don't care. Because it's so rotten, like why would I put it on with just a couple of bolts? That's unsafe, so it's better having none. No under tray than hardly any bolts holding it. Sorry, missing bolts. I'll just leave it in the back, it's fine. Safety first. Why am I not put an under tray that's got nothing holding it on, then, you know. Why does it need so many bolts holding it in? Like, this is a bit much. Look, there's about 90 million bolts holding this in. A bloody under tray.
Lift 2 after Alistair fucked up the lifted socket set in the car.
So, what I did do I've already misplaced it. It's over there. I left one of my ratchet sets in the car and I need it for the R1 bits so I can get the really bad bolts off. Because R1 bits grab bolts that are rounded or rusted. Usually snap them if they're rusted. And usually snap them if they're rounded because they're stuck. So. Kind of getting there slowly. So my R1 bits won't fit, so I'm doing the good old shock and get the fuck off move. So some of them are actually really badly rotten, but I'm not going to get anything on them. Some aren't as bad, so I'm hoping just a good hit frees them off enough that I can actually just ratchet them and no more. It has worked for a few of these, but it's kind of hit or miss at the moment. It's also cleaning up them a little bit. Some are pretty rusty because they've not been off or they're old. It's just a problem with a car that doesn't break down usually because this car has got the legendary M47 in it, which is nearly as good as the 57 minus 2 cylinders, but it's literally the same engine. And it's weird how they went from such a good engine and then to the N47, which was so unreliable. They were shit, the engine. Like, don't know why. Well, emissions, I think that's one of the reasons why. But they actually ended up making a really bad car. So this was one of the last 47s in these cars. The pre-facelift, I think once they facelifted they put the N in it, which was just broke down. So at the moment I'm just trying to clean this up because I think it's been on the car since 2005. So yeah. Ow. That didn't actually. We've asked nicely. We have asked nicely. Now we're telling it it's not moving. And I do not recommend this at all. Genuinely don't recommend this. So, you know, when people, if you're new to all this, don't do this at all. Especially without knowing how, or safety gear, so your glasses or a visor and stuff like that. Don't do this at home. I am a professional.
Go.
Got it off. It's over there. Just giving it a wee clean because it's not the nicest under here. I would reckon this has probably never been off, or it's not been off for quite some time. So yeah, we got it off. We can now get to the top of the engine mount, which is right there. So this here, as you can see, they're full of oil, so it's blown and went everywhere. So I need to take these 2 bolts off here, so one there and one there, and then there's one on the top up here. So that's gonna be fun. So yeah, let's go and grab some tools. So here's one I made earlier. It's a tool we need. So I've got my ratchet and I'm actually using a multi-spline, not the Torx bit because I don't have Torx bits. But a multi-spline should do it. Should. If you don't have a Torx bit. It does get on. And there we go. We are turning. Can tell this is probably from 2005 because it doesn't really move that well for being all aluminium. Well, I'd say this is steel actually. In fairness, it's probably been changed since 2005. I'd like to hope anyway, but you know, one. Have the wheel hold that. And there's two. This one's a lot easier. So what the engine mounts do, for those who don't know, they hold the engine in. It's quite self-explanatory, but they connect, well, to a BM, they connect them to the subframe. Some cars actually connect it to the chassis, arms in the engine bay, like bag cars, they connect to the chassis arms. But as a BM, they're connected to the subframe, which then connects to the bottom of the chassis arm. So, is it better? I mean, if you take the subframe out, you've got a chance of taking the engine mounts out, but to be honest, at that point you're taking the engine out. If you have a side impact, it bends enough, you're going to break an engine mount. So, in a theory, probably not. I'd say they're not that good. But, accessibility wise, they're pretty good. And I'm just trying to think how I'm going to, because once I've undone the top engine mount, I need to lift the engine up. So then I can, that one out, put the new one in, and go. Should be able to get that from the top, maybe. There's no room at all for anything there. I don't think so. This is really going to not be fun, but let's bring it down and see how we can get from the top. We're back on the ground, so plan now. Oh, this is one good thing about the 1 Series actually, they came with an expansion bottle. Because usually, like, so the 46s that we drift with, they've got the bottle there in the front, so as soon as you have a front hit, that's it, job's fucked. And it usually goes into a belt and snaps the belt. On my one, I've done a expansion bottle on my drift car, which sits at the back of the engine bay. So, but this, there's the engine mount down there, behind all the aircon pipes. Fantastic, but I think we could probably get there. Let's get some extension bars out. So what I'm just doing right now, I've got my extensions. I'm going to see if we can actually get onto it this way. I hope we can. There is a lot happening here. Like, I can see it, like that's me on it, near enough. Just kind of, so it's pretty much somewhere over here. So I could probably get it on there. What am I going to say, a 16? I'm going to say a 16. So we've got a deep socket on. Hopefully that works. And then we'll ratchet it, see what happens. Right, well, with extreme precision, I'm on it. Fuck, that was quite good. I don't have enough extensions. I've got a better idea than a ratchet. Yes, the gun. Well, the gun fits. That's it, just like that. Done. Good job. Extensions. Right, back up we go. Because now we need to get up, wedge the engine up so I can get the engine mount out, slip the new one in, and then do it all over again, but in reverse. So let's have it and see how we get on. Right, so we've done the engine hoist job, which is not the best. Don't, again, try this at home. I'm now trying to get this out, which is kind of working, but it's not at the same time. Just trying to think the best way to get this out. Because there's a lot of things still in the bloody road, like earth straps and things. There we go. Out comes a broken engine mount. So here's the difference between an unbroken one and a broken one. So that, like, you'd think it looks alright, but they're meant to be full of oil compared to that one that, you know, isn't moving anywhere near as much as that one. You know, it's just tighter and nicer.
Tight is good.
Tight is good. If it ain't right, make it tight. Or is it ain't right? If it ain't tight, it ain't right. That's a good saying. Oh piss, I left my fucking phone. Losing my balance. Right, so we now need to get this back in, so we need to sit it on that wee peg, but also line up the engine mount with up there for where the engine actually slots on. It should hopefully just slide on, that's what I'm hoping, and then we just rattle it all back together. So, same style as it coming out, we'll try and do the same back in. So I do apologise, it's not going to be the best of views. I do apologise, there's going to be no light for a second. So what I'm doing is I'm going to get the top bolt for the engine mount. I'm going to put the engine mount into the actual mount, screw it on a little bit so then it's in, because the way it's angled is once it's in place it's not going to slide in the way we want it, so we're just going to have it dangle for the time being. This is probably the best way of doing it, I would say, instead of just relying on it going into place when dropping it. If I can find the threads, there we go. Right, so now that's, as you can see, now dangling. So when I drop it down, I'm going to do it really slowly and hope that it slides in nicely and then all mounts up, and then we just rattle all the bolts in, is the theory. So let's find out how it gets on. So what we'll do is Mike will go out to the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go up a wee bit at a time and then go and check, and then a wee bit more up until it's sliding in nicely. So do that, have a look, a wee bit more, because the last thing I want to do is catch it on the arm, because then we could damage. Oh, like it's done. Just need to go up down a fraction. Right, do you want to put the ramp down? Up. Up. Yeah, up. Thank you. So we have just done it there quickly, just because it required the two of us at the same time. What I had to do was I had to hold it in place as Mike raised the ramp up. So yeah, so that's what we've done. So I held it, Mike raised the ramp up, I got it into place, and now it's sitting nicely so we can get the bolts back in. That's kind of sitting alright, might need to clock it a little bit. Oh yeah, we need to clock it a little bit. I think we need to... Oh no, there we go. Clocked itself. It's not got a huge amount of weight on it. Screwdriver. So what I mean by clocking is if it's not sitting quite in line, you clock it as just obviously you're turning it. So sometimes you have to use a screwdriver to line it up. So if you come and have a look at this, you can see with that one there, I don't know, hopefully we can see it. You can see how, you know, it's not quite sitting. So what I do is I put that up and I just give it a wee nudge like that, and then there we have it. Just give it a wee wiggle and hopefully that should be it. And then I'll ratchet it up, which is here. So that's just the bottom two bolts of the mount, and then we just need to do with the extensions and the big gun, just rattle it on from the top, and then that's us, engine mount fixed, and the engine will stop rocking and vibrating, because that was the issue we had. If you're low revs, under a bit of load, you'd feel it and hear it vibrate. It just damages things. You want to be safe than sorry. You know, you don't want to damage anything. If you have an engine mount rattling away, you know, you're losing power, you're losing stability, reliability. You know, if the engine's twisting, you're actually losing that force. That's how I see it anyway. Also, if you've got a broken engine mount, replace it. So we now put it down for the hopefully the last time. Ugga dugga it on, and that'll be us done. So this is going to be us done now. Yeah, I think fingers crossed. So I'll just need to find that bolt again without blinding myself. And then we'll just rattle it on and then take a test run and see how we get on. Actually, what I'm going to do the way I did before, because it's not sitting in the same place. There we go. So we're on. Make sure it's tight, and then bring out everything. Make sure you've got your socket, your extensions. But yeah, that's us done. We have replaced the engine mount on a 1 Series 120D So yeah, let's we'll take out a quick test run and see how we go. We are out in it, and it's working well. No rattles, no wobbles, nice and tight. Car drives really well. So yeah, we're quite happy with it, and we'll put it back in and that'll be it. So yeah, we'll see you back inside the unit. Thanks for watching, everybody. That was today's episode. So as I say, the BM's done, dusted, out of the way. That's going to be going up for sale now, so you know, if anyone wants it, contact us through the Track Ready page if you want. I'm putting it up for sale, as I say. It was just a buy to sell. So yeah, as I say, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.